Hey, you clicked on this video because you're curious about your spiritual awakening, or you are experiencing it and you just need more clarity. This is the video for that. Grab your popcorn, maybe grab a Stones if you're into that shit, and let's get into it. So, first and foremost, when you first break free from the reality that just seemed to just be something that's normal to you, you just kind of living your life, playing video games, and you have a clear indicator of what you want based around how you used to be. And then bam, something just hits you. You either take a psych, or you gone through an immense amount of pain, or something just divinely hits you and opens you up. This is what it feels like internally. Depression with no clear cause. You just sit there and you're taking your daily dose of life, whereas it's a constant cycle over and over and over again. And then bam, out of nowhere, you're just like, I can't get out of bed because something is telling me that this isn't right, or something is not syncing together whatsoever. I need some clarity. And then all of a sudden you get this anxiety that feels existential. It's like everything you do, you just be like, oh, should I eat this? Or, oh my God, why does my body feel like this? Or, oh my goodness, I can't be in this relationship with this person because I found out that they're really draining my soul and I need to get away. That could be family, friends, or loved ones, or anything of that nature. You're lost of motivation for your normal life. Something similar to me was like, I just got rid of my PlayStation. I've been a gamer my whole life. And every time I play it out of just copiism, like of something familiar. But every time I'm playing it, I hear in my head like, oh my goodness, this is not self-love. This is like self-hate. And every time I'm playing it, I'm just trying to ignore how I'm feeling in it. But as soon as I gotten rid of it, I'm back. I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm back on my purpose. So it's not, your normal life doesn't feel familiar to you anymore. Then you're feeling like you're watching yourself live. You're always questioning your thoughts. You're just like, okay, but wait, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how where does this anger coming from? And you're seeing yourself like, oh my God, I'm angry. And then all of a sudden you start thinking about like your projections and other people's projections about life. Things just start to seem like more of a question than just a doing, right? Then you just start to experience life, and it just starts to make just that much less sense. It's like, why does nothing satisfy me anymore? Because you haven't found exactly where you belong. And this in-between period is like, it sucks. Like, no lie, it sucks. Because you're just like, okay, well, then let me go, find some spiritual people, or let me go eat vegan, or let me try this or try that. And you're just putting anything in your mouth and hope that you get a dopamine rush. And it could be a double-edged sword. It could give you complete and utter life, or it can be the latter. It can just put you down in a spiral, and you can depress and take drugs and want to dissociate yourself from the changes that are happening for you, not to you. Then you get to a point where you start to get like a little leverage, and you're just like, I did everything right. Why do I feel empty? And you just look at your hands and you're just like, I have something in my hands, but nothing seems to feel full to me. And it just feels like anything you hold in your hand that has value just slips through the crevices and the cracks. It's something relatable in the midst of a spiritual awakening. It's a real crack in your reality, because the thing that used to have weight does no longer have weight. Then you get to this point where you get so caught up, especially once you start to get into this world or this realm, you start to be like mentally, you don't want to move as much. You become lazy. You become like a shell trying to like regather, but it's such a left and right, left and right, left and right, just trying to like get a grip, and you can't get a grip. It's something that's normal. It's normal to feel this way until you do get the motivation to get out of bed. Like literally, that was my life for a while until it wasn't. So a lot of the times, authenticity is the highest vibration when it comes to your spiritual awakening. It gives you the gift that just keeps on giving. But another thing that we have to understand in our authenticity is the versions of us of the past was nothing more than an armor to protect where we're trying to go. Example, one of the armors you put on that feels like you're protecting yourself, but you're really hurting yourself because you're trying to fill a void that you do not have within yourself. And that's people pleasing. That's going above and beyond to make it so they can smile, or they receive a certain pleasure, or they can get a oomph of what you want to experience, but you just keep giving away your light for just a taste of satisfaction, maybe through a validation of some sort. That is an armor that you're putting upon yourself. And then there's overworking because you want to escape. You want to escape what it means to be grounded and present. And this time period of like, oh man, especially during like hustle culture, everybody's like, oh, just keep working. I'll work the thoughts. I'll work the pain. I'll work the suffering. And those people get rich and they get famous and they get powerful, but then they're drunk every night and they're in so much pain because they're overworking past what needs to be displayed and done to their lives, so then they're truly free. And then during this armor that you also are fortifying and protecting yourself from, which always is something you're going to have to face during this journey that you're on, is the addiction dopamine loops. Those are so hard. Even for me, they're hard right now. You go from Instagram, and then all of a sudden you go to YouTube, and then you go to Twitter, and then you go to Snapchat. And then on top of that, then you're looking up anything to try to get yourself a hit. Anything, just like something to distract yourself. But then you always jump from app to app, and then there's a dating app because you need something to fill the void. You're always looking for the next thing that's going to distract you and keep you engaged outside of what you're experiencing. That is an armor that you're putting up. That's a stronghold until you break that cycle and start becoming present in your own mind, body, and thoughts. Mind, body, spirit, and your heart. Hyper-rational thinking. Now, hyper-rational thinking can benefit you to some sense because it can help you weigh. But when you get to a point where, oh man, that's bullshit. Oh man, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not doing this. It's like you really put yourself in this loop thinking that doing the work is so like ass, or there is nothing greater than doing what I've been doing normal in my life. It's like you start to put yourself in this you start to say, forget what I'm experiencing. I'm just going to keep believing the stories I've been telling myself for all this time. And then that's when the suffering continues. Now, the biggest thing here that gets us, and it kind of plays hand in hand in what we're already talking about, is just the distractions. The hardest part in your spiritual awakening is to just listen and to submit to the process. You don't want to do it. You're not going to want to do it. It's not fun. It's it hurts. You cry. You don't really know how to pick yourself up, especially if you don't have the type of people who are able to give you what you need in the midst of it while you're learning. Because a lot of us go on a journey by ourselves, or a lot of us actually have the community right there because there's a level of what you're meant to do. Source is always going to give you the, like in a video game, there's always going to be that, hey, traveler, do you want to learn something? Like, there's always going to be that one thing, but it just depends on where you're at in your journey and how much avoidance you're doing before those guides actually show up in your life where you're able to listen. But distractions are the biggest thing between the hustle culture, which is telling you to play the game of life at the highest capacity and by any means necessary, when a lot of the time during a spiritual awakening, you need stillness. You need ability to breathe and slow down. And I know that's very difficult when money is something that we need to have as a factor. But during this time, you need the ability to slow down your nervous system so you can receive more. But that's something for a later video. We'll reiterate about that. Now, scrolling and corn has been like the hardest thing, even for myself. Like, just taking the time to be like, okay, these things do not serve me. They don't serve you. All they do is help you stroke that mental pole in your mind that keeps you spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. It does not help you by any means necessary. Even if you're watching constant spiritual and healing things, yes, it can give you ideas and maybe motivation in sometimes, but at the worst times, it's actually making time pass that much faster. And once you truly are awakened, you start to see how time is so precious and how much it passes by so quickly. Oh, and a big one. I have brothers, I have sisters in spirit who are like, they jump from relationship to the relationship to the relationship. They don't want to feel the emptiness that comes with the spiritual awakening. And I can totally relate. I can totally relate. It feels like all you need is a hug or a teddy bear to hold on to, and it'll feel like you can get through it. And sometimes in life, there is no right or wrong on how you're going to do this, but jumping into new relationships because you haven't had the time to truly understand or learn what you are can distract you from what you're meant to receive. And that could take you on a ride, like just a ride in this life that can just, man, it can put you in the worst situations. You can end up having a child, or you can end up having a bad breakup, or X, Y, and Z. And sometimes it's purpose for us to have, but having these things in our lives can truly hurt the lessons and the lifestyle we're meant to have without dealing with even more emotional repercussions that take us away from what we truly are meant to be doing in this life. I'm so blessed to not have any children, so then I can truly put my head fully into the purpose that was given to me. Now, I know this is about to sound crazy as well, but the gym, productivity, self-help, and self-help as avoidance. I had a buddy, and his story is so beautiful. I'll make it brief. He loved jogging and running marathons. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, pushing your body to the limit. But one day, his hip completely just exploded and the bone just fractured within the hip. And I'm like, holy crap. The thing that hit me, that he said to me, was after taking the time and being slowed down because he was using the marathons as a way to escape what God was telling him. And God said, all right, bet, I'm going to take away the thing that you worship the most so that you can be present in all. And I just to this day am just blown away by the fact that something good for you can be taken away because you aren't paying attention to what you were meant to do on the planet. So productivity, your job, your business, and this self-help red pill or all this self-improvement stuff can be a distraction in the midst of you quieting down and listening. Now, your spiritual awakening doesn't start with peace. It starts with your old life. It starts when your old life stops working. And if you truly can understand where I'm coming from on that, your old life will stop serving you. And there's going to be times where you're going to lose friends and family and they're going to disown you or vice versa. You're going to start blocking your grandma and all this other stuff. Like, it gets ugly, but just be utterly grateful that you're in a place right now. And if you're still here, congratulations. You truly give a shit about your next step in your chapter. Your old life is old for a reason. And to shed all that old skin and being able to reapply it to something that you can put on a wall to look as a memento while you're in your new skin and your scales are just so beautiful. That's going to be what is going to take for you to truly see the love that you are meant to give to yourself so that you can give to others. The spiritual awakening is something that is so profound because it's unique only to you. Only you going to have the version that you have it like. So enjoy this process. And I will give out more tips and tools as we're starting to transfer into that next stage of what it means to become the human being of authenticity, no matter how scary it is, no matter how dark or light it is, being what you were meant to become. My name is Goodman, and I'll check back in with you guys later. Namaste.